Welcome back everybody to BeamNG.drive, and today we're taking a look at the Hirochi SBR4 eSBR300. So as you probably gathered from the name, this is an electric car, as well as obviously the fact it's got very minimal ventilation. And but it is only the basic version of the electric car, because it's only rear wheel drive, and it only has a single motor electric motor going through it. So yeah, not as quick as the more powerful versions, but it's still able to do 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. 0 to 109.2 seconds, and going to a top speed of 149 miles an hour, as it has 319 horsepower and 372 pounds-feet of torque, which is a fair decent amount to be honest. So yeah, we're gonna, per usual, take it around the grid map, and then we'll deal with the ramp and the everything else that we deal with, the rollover ramp and the crash out barrels, and then the cinder block wall. So yeah, we've got plenty of destruction now that we're on this new map, and yeah, this is obviously the first, normal-ish kind of vehicle to be done with this map, because obviously we did have the Widgeon, but that's a freewheeler, it's not particularly strong, and you expect that to fail in some regards, whereas this, yeah, is at least capable in some respects of being quite tough. Although obviously we're putting it through its paces already. We've bent a rear wheel there by the looks of things, so we're not going to have the best of handling. Yeah, we're pulling heavily to the right now. Whoa dear. That's not going to help things, is it? Now we're pulling to the left, so we kind of changed it there. So yeah, we've only ever had one other electric car on this review series, and that was the Chariot, which was actually quite impressive to be honest, so I'm hoping this can be. Obviously this is more of a sports car, whereas obviously that was a hot hatchback, and hot hatchbacks are typically a little bit more everyday friendly, whereas this clearly doesn't feel like that. Oh dear. Come on, you can do it. You've got all of that power and torque. Reverse. And then go forward. Yeah, there we go. Managed it eventually. Well, we've taken a lot of damage, and one of our brakes is fading, probably because of the traction control. So we'll turn that off, and hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier on the car. Because the traction control can be a little bit funny when dealing with damage on this game. Does not enjoy having to deal with a wheel that is on the wonk. Oh dear, I think we're stuck again. Maybe it wasn't the best idea coming to a suspension area with a low-slung sports car. Especially one that's only rear-wheel drive. We've got very minimal control anymore. Oh, we've busted a tyre as well. Oh no, that's gone wrong. That's gone wrong. Oh, and we've lost the wheel completely, and we're dead. So yeah, tougher than you'd expect for a low-slung sports car that is only rear-wheel drive. But yeah, at the end of the day, that is not the strongest that we've had. But yeah, let's get to the rollover ramp, the crash hard barrels, and the cinder block wall, and see what it can do with them. Right, so let's try out the ramp, which is going to roll us over 3 times. Although obviously if it isn't able to drive still, or controllably get up on the ramp, then obviously that would be a fail. But yeah, let's see what happens. Oh dear. We saw the wheels bend up before on the rest of the grid map, so I'm theorising that's going to be the issue here. Yeah, that right wheel there does not look healthy at the moment. Rest of the car's holding up okay though. Rolls better than I expected it to, considering it's a lower you know, kind of sports car vehicle. These typically have really low centre of gravity, and therefore that means that they don't roll over particularly well, but that one did. We have taken a lot of damage to the wheels, and obviously without the traction control on, which we need to deal with the fact that we've got wonky wheels, is making us slide about, but yeah, we're still able to drive. So we've not failed yet, but there's clearly the chance for that to happen. How the hell did the tyres deflate us from going up on the ramp? Oh well, still drive with flat tyres, that does not matter. Roof is holding up well as well, so at least if you're inside such a thing then you're going to be safe, but your car itself might not well be able to drive away. This is one of those cars that, you know, stops on an impact as well as a safety feature. Which isn't something I've ever seen in another game before, so it's always nice to see it in this. Well, apart from the tyres deflating getting onto the ramp for that second test, then that was okay. Don't think it really took any more damage, so let's see what happens in this third and final one. A lot of understeer now, probably because the wheels have been put out of place. Come on. Had to break the boot a little bit, but that's fine. So yeah, let's see if it can survive this third and final test. And we've got the explosive barrels and the cinder block wall to go up against as well. The only major damage there that we took, and by major I mean, you know, quotations major, is the front bumper coming loose. Yeah, everything else seems... Well, hang on. Yeah, the steering has gone. Because as you can see, I am pointing left with my right wheel, and the left wheel and the right wheel is turning right. So, yeah, no steering anymore, so that is a bit of a failure. But the overall car itself has survived remarkably well. The roof hasn't really come down. The doors haven't popped open or anything like that. So, yeah, in terms of safety, it's fine, but in terms of engineering, it's a little bit poor. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but I guess that's to be expected for a sports car like this. They are a little bit more fragile than your average car. Right, let's see how it does against the barrels. Going to be going pretty fast. This is going to be a big impact. Whoa! The front has taken the brunt of that. The wheels look like they're broken. How are we going to take the landing? And on the rear, maybe? Yes. Oh! And then we're going to go for a roll as well. Yeah, that was a massive explosion and crash there. We're doing a fourth rollover test effectively. Let's see if it can actually drive. I don't think so. Those front wheels look suspect like they're not going to want to do anything. Oh dear. Yeah, we've got no steering. Still drive, but that's not much use if you can't steer your way around things. So, yeah. A success again on the safety front, because, yeah, the inside has taken it fairly well, although the steering wheel weirdly has shot upwards. Which again probably just shows how much damage the front actually took there from the explosion. But yeah, overall that's okay. But not a massive success either. Again, just like the rollover tests, people inside are fine, but engineering wise it's a little bit flawed, or at least a little bit weak. Oh dear. I think I might well need to put the traction control on for this bit, because it's been a bit funny. Let's go round. Yeah, it does not have the best turning circle either, it's got a lot of understeer. Which I wouldn't have expected to be the case, given, you know, you got no drive line or motors up front. Not 100% on the wall there, but that's still nonetheless dealt with that fine. Especially considering it was going at a fair old amount of speed. And yeah, still got steering and everything, so yeah, it passed the cinder block wall. And about half and half with the crash barrels and the rollover sled, because like I said, the people inside would have been fine, but yeah, the car itself was not. And the grid map, again, probably half, because it dealt with the jumps fine, but then when it came to the suspension aspects, it was again quite weak. But yeah, nonetheless, let's get on to the crash hall test map and see how this does with 30, 40 and 60 mile an hour overlap crash tests. Right, so here we are at the crash hall with our electric Blue Wonder. So yeah, let's see how it does with overlap crash tests at 30 and 40 and 60. I imagine it'll do well here. It is quite a modern car. And yeah, as we saw with the electric Cherrier, that was incredibly safe, but then again, that is the safest car on the game. As of this video at least. So let's see how this SBR4 does. There isn't anything really up front though, in terms of you know, engine or anything like that, unlike with the Cherrier, which I think had its motors up front. But that's dealt with that perfectly. Yes, the windows are cracked or smashed, but that's typical of a crash at the end of the day, because the body is going to flex and move a little bit, and therefore the glass won't be able to take it. But yeah, everyone inside would have been fine, and the front end has taken that, all of the damage there. So yeah, let's see what happens at 40. I imagine this will be much the same. Yep, as predicted, exactly the same. I don't see any difference really in the roof line or the doors or anything there. Yes, the damage has been a bit more severe up front, but again, that's to be expected. So yeah, perfectly happy with that. Right, 60 is really the ultimate test for any car, so yeah, let's see if this becomes one of the few successes at 60 mile an hour that we've had. Slowing it down because it is quite difficult to get the car in line at times, as we have seen before. Oh, that is a dramatic difference between 40 and 60 there. Yeah, that's a fail. That is undoubtedly a fail. Not only because the roof line has squished upwards and, you know, the door has popped off, but as you may or may not be able to see, it's going to let me go in reverse. Take the traction control off. Nope. I'll just have to drag it. Ignore the broken window at the back. That is my fault. Just need to get it into a bit more lighted area. But yeah, as you can see, the steering wheel has shot downwards and forwards as well towards the driver. So yeah, not only have you lost the protection of the door, not only have you lost the protection of the airbag, but then you're also getting impacted by the steering wheel as well. So yeah, that is undoubtedly a failure. That is one of the more drastic differences between 40 and 60 mile an hour that we've seen on this series so far, to be honest. So yeah, I was really surprised by that. lulled me into a false sense of security there, because 1340 were perfect, but then all of a sudden and over 20 mile an hour, and then you're pretty much done for. So yeah, that is a big surprise. But nonetheless, let's get onto the highway and see how this does against two similar weighted vehicles and then one that really isn't. Right, so welcome to the highway. So yeah, like I said, we're going to go up against two cars that are a similar weight to this and size, and then we'll go up against one that isn't. So we're going to go up against the Chariot. Now this isn't the electric version, because unfortunately that's a lot heavier than the SBR4. So yeah, we're just going to go with a fast version, a combustion version basically. So yeah, let's see what happens. Why aren't we progressing? Why is this not working? I have no idea. Hang on. SBR4 has decided to break down on me. The hell is going on? I'll replace it and with any old thing and then respawn it, because for some reason it's decided to die on me. Not a good sign at all, really, to be honest. Right, there we go. No idea what was going on there. Right, so this is 11 pounds lighter than the SBR4, the Chariot there. So yeah, we're a little bit off centre, but no matter. Oh dear. Well, I guess it's no surprise that the safest car is the better one here. That side of the door and the roof going, that's fairly okay from the SBR4, but I'm surprised that the lighter vehicle is the stronger one, which just goes to show how well designed the Chariot is, to be honest. So yeah, not a particularly good result there for the SBR4, which hopefully won't break down on me again. So yeah, right, let's see what other vehicles we can choose from. Preferably something modern, just so it's fair on the similarly weighted vehicle. ETK, how heavy are you? 100 pounds heavy. I think it's only fair to go for something slightly heavier this time, rather than something slightly lighter. Yeah, we'll go for this, because this is only 99 pounds heavier. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we can deal with it this time. Now obviously the ETK isn't quite as safe as the Chariot is, so we'll have to see if that makes a difference. Sometimes an unsafe car crashing into another unsafe car that has really rather good crumple zones at least can benefit the other car. Yeah, that's done that okay, to be honest. Yes, the roof is again warped, but the steering wheel hasn't moved, the door hasn't popped open or anything, so yeah, I'm satisfied with that. And the ETK has actually gotten away with that fine as well. That looks about the same as the Chariot, to be honest, so yeah, satisfied with that. Obviously the car itself is broken, but the people inside would not be broken, so yeah. Right, let's take a look at a car that is way out of our range. Now we typically go for a van or a Roma, but I think we're going to go for a D series this time. I'm going to go for one of the big boys. How much do you weigh? 5291. 5964. Ooh, 6,327 there. I don't think you're going to get much heavier than that. Unless you want to go for... I think we'll go for this. This is a real test. Nearly £7,000. So more than twice the weight of us. Not sure if that's going to get up to 60 though. I'll have to see. We don't really need all that much room, to be honest, to get up to 60 miles an hour. Oh dear, oh dear. That's completely overridden us. Yeah, that is death. Definitely death. The trucks just carried on like nothing even happened. And to be honest, for the most part, nothing really did happen to the truck. Yes, it's lost a drive line, which is why it's no longer moving anymore. The bodywork's that away. In terms of the bodywork, that's fine. But this, yes, that has been completely flat pancaked on the front there, and yeah, it is no more. Yeah, that is devastating. I don't think we've seen a crash quite like that, because obviously the rest of the car is quite fine actually, but it's just like all of the safety aspects just stop dead at where the driver's head is. It's just like, yeah, that's not particularly a good one. That is. The first two crashes were, so it's a bit of a half and half car, this one, in terms of testing, because half and half with the grid map. It was just over half with this and the small overlap crash test, but when it comes to certain aspects, this is a car that fails spectacularly. But when it's a success, it's a resounding success. So yeah, I guess that's a silver cloud, a silver lining really on all of that. But yeah, regardless, yeah, still a fun car to drive, but it's not my favourite in the game. But it's still one that does offer up some fun crashes, and you've got nice, very varied versions as well. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.